Here is a head unit that provides Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, access to the entire Google Play Store, and the freedom to customize everything with various apps while deliver a smooth and seamless experience, all without breaking the bank. The 9-inch screen hides an 8-core CPU at 1.6 GHz speed paired with 2 GB RAM and 32 GB of storage. This may not seem a powerhouse at first, so let's see what ATOTO's A6 PF9 is capable of. ATOTO has invested significant effort in optimizing their Android 10 software, and although it may appear minimalistic at first glance, it's designed for intuitive use. If you are familiar with Android devices, you will feel right at home. The home screen and widget functions just like you would expect. You can tap and hold your finger on the screen to add, remove and resize apps and widgets, as well as set your preferred wallpaper over here. The drop-down menu follows the same familiar pattern you have used before. At the top, you will find shortcuts to frequently access settings such as Wi-Fi, eye comfort, which is particularly helpful especially at night, EQ, system settings and more. Additionally, the notification center and screen brightness adjustment bar are conveniently located here as well. As you dive deeper into using this device, you will quickly realize that ATOTO's subtle customization in the software are all geared toward enhancing the overall user experience. The device runs smoothly, and the touchscreen is highly responsive. Moreover, it offers great little features like touchscreen gestures and split view functionality, which both are helping your interaction with the head unit. Using the touchscreen gestures, you can unlock a range of functionalities like swipe up with 2 fingers and you are instantly in the multitasking menu, allowing you to effortlessly switch between apps. Swipe down, providing quick access back to the home screen. Swipe left or right to left effortlessly navigates you back to the previous menu, while a simple tap with 2 fingers takes you directly to the equalizer settings. But that's not all. ATOTO takes it up a notch with 3-finger gestures. A swift upward or downward motion with 3 fingers lets you easily adjust the screen brightness to your liking. And with a quick tap of 3 fingers, you can switch between font sizes, which offering you flexibility in reading more on the display. Of course, if you find these gestures aren't your cup of tea, you can simply turn them off in the system settings. Enable split view, it's like having a dual screen experience right in your car. To get started, simply navigate to the multitask view, locate the app you want and tap on the split view icon. Repeat the same process for the second app you would like to open and it will appear on the right side of the screen. Of course, you have the ability to adjust the size of these apps. Just drag the line in the middle to make one app larger or the other smaller, depending on your preference. Now, when you are ready to exit split view, simply pull the adjustment line all the way to the left or right and you are back to a single screen experience. It's worth noting that not all apps supports this feature, only those which have the split screen icon offer this view. When it comes to a car stereo head unit, 2 aspects take the lead: music streaming and sound quality. So, let's dive into the audio experience with the ATOTO A6 performance, and I'm pleased to say it's a noticeable improvement over the factory head unit I had. While I'll understand that the standard radio app might not be the go-to source for music streaming these days, ATOTO has you covered here as well. They have put together an impressive radio app with built-in features that can truly enhance your radio experience in your car. To prove that ATOTO takes sound quality very seriously, they have crafted a dedicated and complex equalizer app that helps shaping your audio just the way you like it. You can choose from preset sound profiles for different musical genres or take complete control by manually adjusting the equalizer to match your unique preferences. Beyond the equalizer, you will discover a lot more additional settings to fine-tune your audio experience. For example, there is the sound fill settings, which allow you to precisely adjust the listening position, whether you are focused on the driver or passengers, or, if you prefer, a totally customized setup. There is also time correction, a feature that lets you fine-tune sound delay between speakers, ensuring every note hits your ears at just the right moment. And for those who crave even deeper sound customization, ATOTO includes options like stereo enhancer, bass boost and crossover, where you can dive into deeper audio settings to get the absolute most out of your speakers. On top of that, the package comes complete with an additional amplifier, ensuring that ATOTO has your audio needs comprehensively covered. In relation of sounding, there are a few more settings available, such as touch sound, While personal preference may vary, this can be somewhat disruptive. Fortunately, it can be easily turned off if you find it distracting too. Loudness. This setting is closely connected to the equalizer and allows you to expand the audio limits for a more dynamic sound. Amplifier. Whether you choose to use it or not. Next, speed compensated volume. Now, here is another great feature. It uses GPS signals to gauge your speed and adjusts the volume accordingly. You have 3 different levels to choose from if you prefer to use it. Default media volume every startup. This is a must-have setting in my experience. Here you can preset the volume for every startup, ensuring you don't get startled by unexpectedly loud audio after a particularly rocking ride. Audio mix for navigation and media, where you can preset a volume level for audio when using navigation alongside with media playback. Next, audio mode while reversing. This setting allows you to fine-tune the audio volume while reversing, reducing distractions when you have a backup camera installed. Many of you might be considering an aftermarket head unit upgrade for the same reason I did, to enhance your car's connectivity, including Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. My top priority was having a solid Bluetooth connection to my car stereo and, if possible, having the option of wireless CarPlay also. Long story short, I first upgraded to the ATOTO A6 Performance with a 7-inch screen, which by the way has the exact same specifications as the 9-inch model I'm talking about here today. While I completely fell in love with the 7-inch unit, my curiosity about the larger screen kept me bugging, but more on the differences I experienced coming later in this video. Back to connectivity. First off, let's talk about the Bluetooth connections, which play a crucial role in your ATOTO A6 experience. Once you have paired your phone with this unit, you will notice that both Bluetooth connections are very reliable and fast. An interesting twist: yes, there are actually 2 separate Bluetooth connections available. And at first, this might seem a tad confusing, but each of them has its own unique advantages once we take a closer look. Let's start with Bluetooth 2. This particular Bluetooth connection is designed to let you connect additional devices to the head unit. And why is that a big deal? Well, this distinct Bluetooth line allows you to maximize all the advantages of upgrading your car's infotainment. For example, you can seamlessly link up an OBD scanner and see it separately from the main Bluetooth line. Here is a real-world example. I drive a hybrid car and there is a specific app that provides me in-depth insights into what's happening under the hood. This app is exclusive to Android devices, and being able to monitor my car in this way is a major plus and something I truly value when considering the limitations of other premium branded third-party head units. It's worth mentioning the unit comes with similar apps pre-installed, so practically anyone can benefit from this feature. All you need is an additional car scanner. And remember, this is just one example. You can pair up various additional devices as you wish and have them all connected to a secondary line. Let's shift our focus to Bluetooth 1, where the primary connection should be made. This is where you will handle additional synchronization, make calls and enjoy music playback. But perhaps one of the standout features here is the option to automatically launch Apple CarPlay or Android Auto in the background right after your phone connects to Bluetooth 1. For iPhone users, it won't automatically launch wireless CarPlay, but it does set up the CarPlay connection in the background. This little convenience saves you time at each startup, ensuring you can hit the road with minimal to no delay. With that being said, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are both available under the app called CarLink 2.0, and I have to admit, this is the app that takes center stage in my usage, and I believe this feature alone makes the upgrade worthwhile. If you are not familiar what Apple CarPlay is, it's like having the power of your iPhone right on your car's touchscreen. Imagine seamless integration between your phone and your car's infotainment system, allowing you to access your favorite iPhone apps, make calls, send text, and even use navigation, all while keeping your hands on the wheel and your eyes on the road. In this case, your iPhone will do the heavy-duty hardware work, as CarPlay is essentially a built-in feature. It wirelessly displays this extra interface on the head unit, which lets you control the app on the screen's surface. Think of it as an intelligent co-pilot for your car. Whether you need directions, want to listen to your carefully curated playlist, Apple CarPlay has got you covered all in one place. Plus, it's designed with safety in mind, offering a simplified and voice-activated interface so you can stay focused on driving. As you can see, it operates swiftly, responding promptly and running smoothly, devoid of any noticeable lags. The only instance when I encountered a minor issue was when my iPhone screen was locked, causing Google Maps to not display the map surface. However, this hiccup was quickly resolved by unlocking my iPhone, so it appears to be more of an Apple-related matter rather than an issue with the head unit itself. It's important to note that you will need a compatible iPhone or Android device that supports either wired or wireless CarPlay or Android Auto. Once you've got the right device, setting it up is very straightforward. First, ensure that your phone isn't connected to any other Wi-Fi network or hotspot at the time. Make sure Bluetooth is turned on and the device is paired in Bluetooth 1, then enable CarPlay with CarLink on your iPhone screen when it pops up. Once you have completed these steps, Apple CarPlay will automatically establish the connection every time you start up your vehicle, just as I mentioned before. Alternatively, you can simply plug in your iPhone using a USB cable and you are good to go. Logically, when you use Apple CarPlay, the ATOTO head unit won't be able to connect to other Wi-Fi networks or your phone's hotspot for internet access. This limitation makes sense because the head unit dedicates its resources to providing a separate surface for Apple CarPlay, ensuring a smooth and uninterrupted experience. But what if you don't want to use CarPlay or Android Auto, or you simply can't? Well, there is an alternative phone mirroring option available through an app called Easy Connection. To enable that, you will need to download this app on your phone and grant it the necessary permissions. Once that's done, you are pretty much good to go. With this setup enabled, you can still connect the head unit to your phone's personal hotspot, or alternatively, share the internet when your phone is plugged in. What's more, you have the flexibility to set a default USB connection in the settings, allowing you to choose between Easy Connection, CarLink, or none, depending on your specific needs and preferences. These are all additional features, but the true beauty of the ATOTO A6 head unit lies in its ability to function perfectly on its own. The device comes loaded with a variety of pre-installed apps, allowing you to use the ATOTO A6 entirely in offline mode. It has a generous 32GB of built-in storage where you can store your favorite music, movies, or any other files. Additionally, if you find the built-in storage small for your needs, you can easily expand it using an external USB storage device. However, if you wish to use the device in a completely offline mode, it's worth noting that you will initially need some form of internet connection, at least to download and set up a navigation app. But connecting to the internet is very easy, as I mentioned earlier, with various options like using a nearby Wi-Fi network or your phone's hotspot. Once connected, you have the entire Play Store as a source, allowing you to download practically any app you desire. Take navigation for example, you can download an app with offline maps and use them completely without internet with the GPS antenna connected. The freedom to choose from a wide range of apps is entirely yours, plus ATOTO provides excellent support. You can expect regular firmware updates, highly detailed manuals to assist you if you run into any challenges, or even reach out to their customer support for assistance. Also, ATOTO goes the extra mile by offering additional accessories for its well-tailored Android head units. For instance, they provide a 720p rear view camera, and when I say well-tailored for the Android system, I mean they have left no stone unturned, paying attention to even the smallest details that can enhance your user experience. You will find useful features like rear camera guided line switch, which adds dynamic guidelines to the display when you are in reverse, or if you prefer a static reference line, it allows you to switch from dynamic to static guidance. And when it comes to steering wheel controls, the customization options are fantastic. You can freely configure each button to your liking beyond their original functions. You can also set the driver's side to left or right. You can set the lighting color of the buttons on the button panel to any color you want, which I think is brilliant, and if the lighting isn't your cup of tea, there is an option to turn it off as well. And on top of all that, you can choose a custom auto start app that launches your favorite or most used app each time you start the car. If you change your mind later on, no worries, you can easily change it or turn this feature completely off in the auto start switch option. Now, let's delve into my personal experience over the past 3 months of using ATOTO head units. When it comes to boot time, these head units offer a fast 2-second boot time when the wiring is properly configured. I have to confess, my lack of expertise in wiring became evident during the installation process. I'm by no means an expert in this field, so I opted for a Toyota-specific ISO adapter during the installation. However, my choice had its limitations because aftermarket ISO harnesses typically provide only the basic wiring, so if the head unit requires specific wiring for special features like the 2-second boot time here, the standard ISO adapter adapter may fall short. The fast boot feature, which delivers this impressive boot time, relies on two crucial wires, the 12-volt ignition and the 12-volt constant power harnesses to both be correctly connected. This enables the device to enter an ultra-low power mode, allowing it to wake up within 2 seconds when the car starts. The cool thing about this feature is that it theoretically takes over 160 days to drain your car's battery, and when you haven't started your car for a while, the head unit automatically powers off after 7 days to prevent any long-form battery drain. In such cases, the next startup time returns to the still reasonable 25 seconds. Speaking of wiring, even if you are not an expert like myself, a basic installation can be done with ease. ATOTO certainly simplifies the process by providing all the necessary harnesses for a seamless installation. Also, putting tags to each wire, giving huge help for both beginners and experts. The only thing you need is a car-specific frame if the provided standard double-DIN frames won't be enough for your needs in your vehicle. As I previously mentioned, I initially upgraded to the 7-inch model, and while both the 7 and 9-inch head units share identical internal specifications, the most prominent differences can be seen in their screen sizes and, as a result, the screen resolution. The smaller 7-inch screen offers a true 7-inch display with a resolution of 1024 by 600. On the other hand, the larger variant from ATOTO's A6 performance line boasts a 9-inch display with the resolution of 1280 by 720, and both feature bright IPS panels. I found no issues with the visibility in direct sunlight for either option, but I must admit that the 9-inch screen proved a bit easier to see in challenging conditions. However, there is a trade-off to consider. The 7-inch version presents a sleeker, more factory-like appearance, almost seamlessly blending with your car's interior. In contrast, the 9-inch version occupies more space and, in my opinion, appears slightly more conspicuous. Another minor distinction between the two is in the design of the bottom panel buttons. I'm personally inclined towards the feel of physical buttons in a car, but I can confidently affirm that the touch-sensitive buttons on the 9-inch version are highly responsive and cause me no inconvenience whatsoever. Of course, it's worth noting that not everyone may have the option for the larger 9-inch screen due limitations in the available space within their vehicle. In such cases, the 7-inch version remains an excellent choice. Both models equals in performance and rocking with an 8-core ARM Cortex A55 CPU at 1.6 GHz speed and 2 GB RAM. And while it doesn't seem to be a powerhouse at all, with the optimization of Android 10 by ATOTO, you really don't need to be afraid. When it comes to choosing between the two, it's a matter of personal preference and budget. I personally appreciate the more factory-like appearance of the 7-inch unit, but I can't deny the enhanced visibility provided by the 9-inch screen. Naturally, going for the larger screen does come with a slightly higher price tag. In the end, your choice should be based on your individual requirements and financial circumstances. If you have enough space in your car and the budget for the 9-inch version, it's a no-brainer. However, the 7-inch unit offers equivalent performance at a slightly more budget-friendly price point, making it a good choice for those who prefer a sleeker appearance. Keep in mind that both units come in at a significantly lower price point compared to some of the more prominent players in the competition, and sometimes you can find them just under $200. This represents excellent value for money in my opinion, so if you are in the market for a head unit that provides all features you need, then the ATOTO A6 PF car stereo units deserve your attention. They might just be the missing piece that elevates your car's infotainment system to a whole new level. Thanks for watching and take care.